Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? No makeup, no hairdo, just got it tied up, and this is how keeping it real, girls. This is how I love my t-shirts that are all ripped and all that stuff for comfort. Today's pork setting Sunday, so didn't have time to get all dolled up today, so you got me like you got me. No makeup, no nothing but moisturizer and a little lip gloss. So now you're going to see me how I really am. So don't think you want to call Vogue now, do you? But anyway, I started out last Sunday finishing. My son had bitten the Christmas light bulb. Okay, so big flash, blew a hole in his lip right here. I mean clean through. My husband grabbed him up and ran into the bedroom. Why my husband does this, but he's used to be really bad about grabbing them up if they got hurt, run to the bedroom and roll over the bed with them crying and oh my God, my baby. But I had to grab him up and tell him, we gotta get him to the doctor. We gotta get him to the emergency room. You can't do this. So got him to the emergency room, and my doctor that I had had ever since I was a tiny child, and see, back then doctors took care of the whole family. They birthed you, and then they took care of you, and they birthed your child. So he said this, and this was Dr. Butner, the best doctor. He was a country doctor. He went from house to house, went to the Amish, to their house and helped them with their babies. But anyway, he said, I think it's going to be okay. We just got to keep it from getting infected. And he gave us some cream and said it was going to be fine, and he was going to have a scar, and if it bothered him when he got older, that it could be fixed. So we was cool with that. Never bothered my son as he got older. My cheeks are kind of red, aren't they? I've been cleaning house. So anyway, so now we're at the 18 months, and he done that. We got that taken care of. Then at 2-3 years old, his dad decided he wanted to teach him how to ride a motorcycle. They didn't have four-wheelers back then. They had two-wheel motorcycles. So he bought him this little Indian, called a little Indian. Scared me to death. He goes around the house. We're at my husband's mother's house. He goes around the house. He hits this little metal, what do you call it? A little chair that my husband's mother had outside with flowers in it. My son hits that. The motorcycle goes in the air. The chair goes in the air. My son goes in the air. And I'm screaming at my husband that he's going to kill my child. And so that happened. And my son just grew up being a daredevil. He learned he got real good on motorcycles. And he learned to do wheelies. Every time he done it, scared me to death. Scared me to death. He wrecked, skint his up the road, wrecked and slid right up the road in front of our house, and all of this side was tore up. And he just got back up and said, oh, Mom, that was fun. Oh, Mom's having a heart attack. Dad's laughing. So they just kept me going all the time. But then when he was about 12, he did crazy. Oh, I got to tell you about when he started kindergarten. He started kindergarten. He did not want to go. He clung to me, and he screamed, and he cried, and just clung to me. And so I left crying. Well, we was close enough to watch him to school every day. I could stand in front of the house, and he was riding a bicycle by then, so I would let him ride his bicycle too. Gosh, my face really is red. I would let him ride his bicycle to school, and I would watch him. And by this time I had his oldest sister, Rebecca, and she was at home, and I was pregnant with my third child. So he would ride to school. One day he came back. I watched him go into school, and I went back in the house, and I was doing some of my chores, and he came back. And I said, "What are you doing home from school?" And he said, "Oh, Mommy, the girls are making brownies at school today, and the boys don't have to go." And I thought, "Oh, no, little man. No." I said, "They are." So the next day I went with him. No, they weren't. I knew they weren't. So he learned to tell me little stories to get out of school. He hated school. Hated it. He would rather be home outside playing. Never did like school. "I'll take you to first grade, and then we'll wait till next week to tell more." First grade then, we sent him to school, and my husband worked second shift then, so we were getting ready to go somewhere, and he was at school, and we lived right in town by this time, and there was a Catholic church right up from us, and we drove by this Catholic church going to where we were going. I don't even remember where we were going, but my husband stops all of a sudden and said, "Did you see that?" And I said, "No, what?" And he backed up and he said, "Wait a minute." He sat there a few minutes. He said, "Watch." We sat there and watched. He didn't tell me what to watch for, but we sat there and watched at the shrubs around the church. Well, my son was sticking his head out. He was in first grade and skipping school. Oh my God, skipping school in first grade. Could not believe it. We got him, and boy, we tore his little butt up. So y'all have to find out what else he did. He was all the time doing something. So it's really been good coming in and seeing you. I hope I didn't scare you too bad with this face. But I knew if I didn't go ahead and come on out on the porch, I brought my coffee or my drink. I brought a drink. I had some coffee. I knew if I didn't go ahead and come out, I wouldn't get this done. And I wanted to come in and talk to you today. If I scared you, I'm sorry. But if I didn't scare you, please still hit that friend button down below. Stick that thumb up in the air. I want to travel. Share me around. Because if you stick that thumb up in the air, you can come along with me. I'll pick you up. Come along with me on my new journey that I'm taking. Until next week, I love you. And keep on keeping on. Bye.